What's up, everybody? This is Chris Nichols, and you're listening to an episode of the Nichols and Dime Show featuring Matt Hersh. Enjoy. What's up, Matt?
How we doing?
Good, man. Thanks for having me over.
Of course, dude. Thanks for making this happen.
I'm glad we finally did. You've got a lot of good stuff going on. I'm stoked to get into it with you. I was just telling you earlier, it's amazing how much your perspective changes when you actually do a little bit of research on what someone has accomplished.
Yeah, I forget sometimes, so I'm glad you did the research and can remind me.
Yeah. Well, on that note, let me give everybody a quick introduction about you. There's a few things to mention here before we get into it. But guys, I'm here today with Matt Hersh, who is a business and energy master coach and founder of Impact Accelerator, which is a program that enables solopreneurs, specifically expert coaches and healers, build profitable businesses while staying true to themselves and creating the life of their dreams. Matt offers services such as paid workshops, free trainings, business consulting calls, retreats, and a guide to help you discover your superpower. Previous to his current business, Matt worked as a business strategy consultant at LEK Consulting for top Fortune 500 companies, consulted in the fitness industry, and became a certified breathwork healer. Matt is originally from Morristown, New Jersey, attended Lehigh University, got his master's at Dartmouth, and currently is based in San Diego. What a resume. Wow. Man, well, there's a lot to talk about, and I love what you're up to, man.
Thank you.
Mean, just with a lot of my motivation to start this podcast and being in the corporate world myself, and you've taken kind of the direction I'm going to a reality and helping others with that to a very large successful level of success. And I want to understand your motivations, right? I want to understand how this, connects to your purpose, what you think your purpose is in life, or what you know that to be. And of course, tactically, how you did that from a business standpoint. So I think a good place to start would be, what was your life like growing up in New Jersey? And, I want to talk about some of the family stuff you went through and understand what impact your life was and the things you went through, what that had on you in your life.
Yeah. And thank you for the incredible intro and kind words. Much appreciated.
Well deserved.
Yeah, growing up in Jersey, it was like living the childhood dream. Grew up in a town or a development called Cromwell Hills, and it was like, we had our park, we had our pool, very tight-knit neighborhood. It really was like a neighborhood from, decades ago, where all the kids just like lived at the park and threw mud at each other. And, our biggest goal in life is to become the head lifeguard. Which of course I had to hit and did.
Oh, really? At like the community pool?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And it was a really great childhood. Incredibly diverse community in Morristown, which I really feel fortunate now to have grown up in that public school system.
Yeah. So sorry, just for context, how far was Morristown from like Newark or New York City?
Like about an hour from the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good place. Like, you go north, you go northwest, there's like farm country, you go southeast, there's the beach, and you go due east, and it's New York City. So despite the name New Jersey gets, where I grew up was a fantastic place to grow up.
Cool. Okay, cool. So, all right, that's great. And what was your family situation like?
Yeah, amazing family, brother and sister, two siblings. I was the oldest, really supportive mom and dad. And my parents actually grew up across the street from each other.
Oh, interesting.
So they had it was a very like movie like romance in the way they came together. And really great childhood, and the biggest like wrench in my paradigm was losing my dad young. So I lost my dad when I was 15 to lung cancer,
Oh, wow.
And it was just completely unexpected. Like, completely unexpected. And that was the first thing that shattered my paradigm and changed my course.
The cancer was unexpected, or the death was unexpected?
Both.
Well,
yeah. I mean, he had arthritis. He had type 1 diabetes. So he had autoimmune issues, but like was so able. Like worked out all the time, and like you just would never know. You would have never known anything was wrong.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Christmas Day of that year, let's say about 16 years ago, he just started like having this really, really bad cough and had to go to the emergency room. And then he thought it was like bronchitis. And then 6 weeks from there, just progressively got worse, went in the ICU, and got word that like he just didn't make it. And that was something that just, it didn't even register as a possibility in my universe that could happen.
Gosh, man. Yeah. Wow. Where were you exactly when you got this news?
I was sitting on the couch when like my uncle's car came by, and that was one of the first times I realized that like we have like sixth senses, because like my uncle's car pulled in the driveway, and like I looked at my mom, and like the look on her face, like she like knew, she just knew, and then because she knew, I knew. And it was just crazy. It was like, wow, I couldn't even like comprehend like how she knew that. But yeah, that like moment, like, yeah, never forget that.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. At age 15, you were probably in 9th or 10th grade, early high school. Yep. How the heck did you deal with this? Couldn't you finishing up high school, living at home with your mom?
Yeah. From a family perspective, it really brought our family together. And then from a personal perspective, it really lit a fire underneath me. Like, kind of two things happened. I always envisioned like an epic life, living by the beach, having my own business. Like that was something that was just in my DNA from when I was young. But this was really the time where I realized like, oh shit, I'm going to need to figure out how to make that happen. Yeah. I don't have my dad to show me the way. I need to figure that out. I need to figure out how to become a man. And so that led me to really take on this sense of exploring the world and, really just getting after my goals. And so how did I deal with it? It's interesting. Like 3 days after he passed, I was back in school, like almost like pretending like nothing happened. Whoa. So I have this like, my survival strategy was just like get back, repress, push it down, and pretend it never happened, and move on. Wow. And did that work? It worked as far as like back then it allowed me to go back to school and go to great college and get a great job. Years later, which was the gift in this, was I started to understand the repercussions of repressing emotion. Yeah. Which became something I've really found some mastery in around working with emotion and energy. But at the time, it was a genius survival strategy that allowed me to like press it down, keep going, and then take on this like, I can do anything. Nothing can stop me. Nothing can hurt me mode. Yeah. Was that completely your decision, or was there encouragement from your mom to handle it that way, or siblings? My mom was incredibly strong. And she was just the whole time, she's like, guys, we're going to be okay. Like, he set us up to be okay. Let's just, keep going. Yeah. And we're going to be good. We're going to be a great family. Like, so she really had this like really strong, anchor that held everything together. But the inner like drive that left me with, like, I don't think that was any decision. I think that was like just an imprint of the situation. Yeah. Call it trauma, call it trauma response. It was a good one. Wow. Well, what did your dad do for a living? What was he like? He was in commercial real estate. Okay. But he was the best dad. Like coached so many of our teams and always like put us first. Like, you know, didn't miss weekends to go like for work.
Yeah.
Always came home as quickly as he could. Like just really left such a good mark on us of how important family was and what's important in life.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, obviously he went far too early, but it sounds like the impact and the legacy he left for you and to motivate you in your life, it couldn't have been better. That's kind of an amazing outcome if you really look at the positive out of that. That's cool, man. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm so sorry you and your family went through that. But clearly you've used it in an amazing way since then, and I want to dig into that more. So you finished up high school. Were you into sports?
Yeah, I played lacrosse.
Okay,
School, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Did you play also in college?
Played club.
Okay,
College.
cool. So
Club legs.
Yeah, club legs. Yeah, so Lehigh. All right. Would you study at Lehigh?
Bioengineering.
Okay. Wow. And then you got you went and got your master's at Dartmouth in, was it management consulting or what was it?
It was engineering management.
Engineering management.
Yeah.
Okay. So you obviously were studying engineering in your years in school. What did you have an idea of what you wanted? Did you have an idea of what you wanted to do with that?
No. I got to Lehigh and they were like, pick a major. Here's a worksheet. And I was like, I like building things. I like working out. I like science. Yeah. Oh, bioengineering. Cool. Let's do that. And, you know, get to the first year of it. Like, it's just all the calculus and physics. And, like, I'm like, oh, that kind of sucked. But, like, all right, I'm 1 year down. Next year, it might get better. Sophomore year, even harder. I got through it. I'm like, oh, junior year. Yeah. It's got to get better.
Yeah.
Make it through halfway junior year. I'm like, oh, this whole major thing is not what I'm here to do, but I'm already almost done. I might as well just finish this thing out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like hold so much resentment for how the school systems work.
Yeah.
In forcing you to just like choose a thing.
You're right.
I think it's so much more about learning how to learn and learning what your true skill set is, which obviously it's kind of what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for the education. Like I now have a background in, really advanced science and engineering, as well as how to write and read scientific papers and how to do like real powerful research and how to analyze for statistical significance. So it's these things that like now that having that knowledge is something I'll always use forever and something that really separates me in my industry. So grateful for that. But really what I realized junior year when I started my entrepreneurship minor was like, that was a huge thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a key piece of information.
Key piece. I was like kind of withdrawn from everything until I joined this entrepreneurial program. And one of my professors had this like option to travel with him to Silicon Valley. So I like jumped at that. Yep. And when I went there and met entrepreneurs from Lehigh who were like living their own lives, building the cool businesses, that was the first time where I was like, oh my God, I don't have to just be an engineer or be in finance. Oh man. I could like do my own thing. Yeah. And that's the first time I saw people who were in my past shoes where I realized my dreams are possible. Yeah. It was from that moment, literally from that moment where I was like, all right, every single arrow of mine is being pointed into how to become an entrepreneur. Yeah. And so that was my quest. And my question was, okay, I need to learn business. How can I learn from the best in the world? Let's get into strategy consulting. And so I aim okay, how do I get into strategy consulting? Well, my GPA is not that great. So if I can find myself get into a great grad school somehow, and a grad school that recruits at the top tier management consulting firms, then I'd have a shot at this thing. And so that became my next step, which pointed me towards this Dartmouth program. And I guarantee I've had the lowest GPA that ever got in that program, but I did what I needed to do as far as interviewing and speaking to the right people, and really like just muscle my way into the program. Which was my stepping stone into management consulting, which was the stepping stone into like the next piece as well.
Got it. Okay. So that trip you mentioned, going to the Silicon Valley, what was a part of that trip?
It was, go meet entrepreneurs from Lehigh who are in tech and doing amazing things.
Yeah. Was it just like a quick little seminar type networking thing?
A week. It was like a week.
Okay.
A week with other Lehigh students who were interested in entrepreneurship to go meet with entrepreneurs who were from Lehigh that were venture capitalists, founders, and it just opened my eyes to a completely new world, new way of doing things. Life, like I walked out of there with like life by design was like the term that I walked away with. Like, you can design your life.
Wow. Yeah, I love how you were saying this, because it's something I can completely understand. I went to school in the Silicon Valley in Santa Clara, and it was during that same time period, right, as you, and I felt that same impact from just being in that environment, especially at that time, right? I mean, going to school, 15 minutes away from the Google campus, from the Apple campus, from Facebook, cool. and then all the entrepreneurship around you, and just seeing this buzz around you of these entrepreneurs from all over the world, by the way, people who are just there and they're so stoked to be there, like, wow, their eyes are wide, they're thinking about trying to create the next big thing, right? And whether they do or not, it's such a cool energy to be around, and it's inspiring, and I can imagine how you felt on that trip and how impactful it was and how it motivated you. So you got your master's, and then you after that you got a job at LEK.
Yeah. Okay. Which my advisor at Dartmouth said, Matt, it is near impossible that you get a job in management consulting.
Really?
Yep.
Why do you say that?
Because
your GPA?
It's really rare for because basically when you're competing with the best. Like you're like at Dartmouth, I'm competing with undergrads who have 4.0 GPAs. We're valedictorians. Started the fencing club. Like I don't know. Like the best of the best of the best.
Yeah.
But I knew my route was not to compete, but it was to if I can get the interview, then I can get the job. If it could be another thing with consulting interviews it was like case interviews. So one of the questions was like, how many waffles are eaten in the United States every single year? Yeah. Like, you have to do that math in your head. Oh God. Okay. Like, what was another question? Yeah. How many people stay in hotels? Like, how many people stay in hotels every year in the US? Like, and you have to like come up with like do the math to come up with a number that's like close to that answer. And so I just like was like, all right, I'm gonna be the best in the company at case interviews. And so I just worked. That's all I did. Wow. All I did was study. I didn't do like when I was at Dartmouth. Like I really didn't do the like work at school. I had my buddies like help me. Yeah. I totally got by, but I also felt like it was pass fail. So I was like, why would I spend my time working on schoolwork that school doesn't matter, when I can put my energy towards what's going to really make an impact, which was getting really good at interviews. And also what I did was I shouldn't have gotten the interview, but there were 5 letters from partners, high level managers at LEK saying you should interview this guy, Matt Hersh. Whoa. Because I networked with them to get, and they really liked me. Wow. And so I got my name submitted multiple times to HR, and then they just interviewed me. Good for you. How'd you network with them? Cold outreach on LinkedIn. Nice. And stuff like that. Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. Wow. So I just knew my route was not going to be a traditional route. I had to carve my own route to make that happen. And on that note, you had your entrepreneurship minor, right, at Lehigh. So, but you're also obviously trying to get a job at a big consulting firm. What was your plan at that time of getting into entrepreneurship eventually, or did you even have a plan? Yeah, it was to get into consulting, learn the consulting playbook on how the business is done at the highest levels in the world, and use that playbook as my jump off point to go serve any company. Got it. Okay. Wow. Okay. So that's what I did. As soon as I got into the consulting company, I performed really well there. Like, I got promoted pretty quickly. But I was really just, my eye was on, okay, now what do I do with this? Yeah. Okay. So you were really just using it as a stepping stone. Learn how to consult and advise and build a business
and become an expert on strategizing for business.
Exactly.
But you didn't quite have like the specific idea of maybe what industry you wanted to go into, or did you have some sort of idea? No.
I loved health and wellness, so
okay,
that was always my North Star aim.
Okay, so I think that's a great transition then, because so you then started the Fit and Corporate blog at some point, right? Can you tell us about the transition?
Yeah, I got into the consulting firm, and prior to this, I'd been working out like 4 or 5 days a week consistently, like since I was 11, like super like dialed in on my health and wellness. And then I get into a consulting job that's 60 to 80 hours a week, and they're just throwing like danishes at you and like coffee and sugar and pizza, and like I started to see myself like not moving nearly as much as I used to, and like putting on body fat, and like my 6-pack was starting to disappear. It was at that moment I was like, no, I can't. I'm not settling for this. And so I made it my personal mission. Like, all right, here are the constraints I have. Some days I'm working from 8 a.m. to midnight. Like some days I'm working longer than that. Like, how can I stay fit and healthy within the confines of this corporate work week? And so I just started to dial in on my own strategies of meal prep, biohacking, meditation, lifting, and getting my own certifications and knowledge. And as I started to do that, I realized like, oh, wait a minute. Okay. Everyone in my office needs this. All my friends need this. So what if I just started sharing about everything I was learning and doing to stay fit and healthy within the confines of this insane work week, and posting proof. That would help me build a personal brand in fitness, and a personal brand, which then may allow me to transition into something else closer to my interest area of health and wellness and biohacking. And so I just went for it. So literally all of my time outside of work was working on my brand and my blog, and my fitness. And I just was a machine. A machine. That's all I did.
And this isn't just a normal 9-to-5 job you had. This was you said 60 to 80 hour type job. Which is commonplace in the world of consulting, right? So
there were days where I also got fitness. I got certified as a personal trainer.
During this time as well?
Yeah, I got job at 2 gyms.
Okay.
And so there were days where I would finish the workday at 2 a.m. and have to teach a group fitness class at 6 a.m.
Oh, man. Whoa, you were hustling.
So I just was all in.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so how long did this grind to a very high degree last until something changed?
Yeah, about a year and a half. There was this opportunity to take a sabbatical.
Okay. And keep your job? Yeah. Okay. So like that's also normal, right? Like people get put on jobs or on contracts, right? In that type of work. And
it's not normal to get a sabbatical after a year and a half. But I finagled it. I knew there was a program in LEK that allowed that. And so I was like, all right, I want to do this. And I thought this was a really good opportunity for me to make a jump. Like if I could find a company located where I wanted to, an industry I wanted to, like this could be a great way to make it. But I wasn't banking on it. I was like, this could be a great trial run. So I found this business called the Brand X Method. Jeff and Mickey Martin were the founders. They developed CrossFit Kids.
CrossFit Kids. Okay.
Yeah, they were in San Diego, in Ramona, not too far.
Okay. And where were you living at this time?
Boston.
Okay.
So I hit them up and it's like, hey, I got this opportunity to take a sabbatical and support a company that's working for a good cause. You guys teach coaches how to coach kids in fitness. But I went on their website, and what I saw like an 11-year-old girl deadlifting 300 pounds with perfect form. But I had no idea what the company was selling. So I was like, they are doing something that no one else is doing. They're amazing coaches. They're having a great cause, but their marketing needs support. I can help them.
Okay.
And so after some conversations, I flew out to Ramona and moved to Ramona for 3 months.
Wow. And what was the deal you had with them?
It was pro bono consulting.
Wow.
So I was just working for free for the opportunity to support a company and get training. Like they trained me, and they were incredible with teaching me how to really lift weights properly and how to become a beast in the gym.
Okay. They knew their stuff.
Oh, better than anyone I've ever met.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And at this time, you still were being paid, of course, by LEK. Still had your
Not
job.
for that 3 months.
Oh,
I just took a break from LEK. I could go back whenever I wanted to.
Got it. Okay.
But I was not getting paid.
Okay. And was it... Okay. So you took that break so you could explore more how you could make something out of all the stuff you're working on the side with the blog and the fitness.
Yep.
Okay.
Totally.
And then you did this. Okay. So 3 months in San Diego, Ramona, with this group.
Yep.
What came out of that?
They needed my support, and I wanted to stay supporting them. They didn't have finances to pay me anything, so I just negotiated an equity deal to become a partner of the business. And it was, I'm going to join, and I'm going to help you raise funding because you need funding, and I don't get paid until you get funding. So I gave them that deal, hey, I'll come support this business. I'll help you scale, help you grow.
Yeah.
And I'll help you get funding.
Wow.
For a chunk of equity.
Yeah.
And
But you went all in.
Down.
You weren't getting paid. You just were getting equity.
Yep.
Okay. So that's a big risk. I'm sure you had some sort of cushion from the work you had been doing to take that risk.
Yeah. I mean, a bit.
Yeah, a bit.
Not like giant. But,
yeah. Not enough to really be comfortable for too long.
Yeah. But I liked it. I liked the fire. I liked being in this position of okay, I need to figure out how to, raise a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
And if I don't, then I don't make any money. So I liked being in that position.
Okay. Wow. So remind me of the name of this company.
It's called the Brand X Method.
The Brand X Method. Yeah. Okay. So you're diving in. You go all in. And did you leave LEK completely?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So how long did you work with them for total?
Worked with Brand X for 2 years.
Okay. And how did things end off with them?
So, yeah, it was really, really interesting. Huge learning experience. On the good side, I really supported them in bringing together one of the, an amazing strategic partnership with OPEX.
Okay.
They're leaders in the functional fitness market, landed an investment deal. 7-figure valuation, which I literally just ran myself.
Yeah.
Spreadsheet, created the valuation, did the work of what an investment banker would do.
Yeah.
With the skills I got from LEK, so it was really amazing there. It was pretty nuts to have $10K in the bank one day for Brand X, and then the next morning have $360K.
Yeah.
And oh, okay, now we have room to work.
Wow. Okay.
Launched their professional coach certification product, which was it was awesome.
Yeah.
I think we sold around, I actually don't even want to put a number, but I think it was 200 coaches joined. It was a massive year, massive couple years for Brand X.
Wow.
Big growth. But to be really honest, my management skills were not up to what I thought they would be.
People management,
startups, growth. I overestimated my capabilities. I overestimated what we could do together. Amazing things happened, and I know Brand X is grateful for what we created. But in the end, we did get to that period where my vision was this. Jeff and Mickey had a different vision. Cash flow started dwindling, and it came to the point where I felt that my impact was just no longer here. So I actually just gave back my equity, which technically was, valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And wanted to just leave on great terms. And so I did that, and
okay, I'm trying. All right, that was the curveball right there. Right? You gave back your equity.
Yeah.
And you worked for them so you basically did 2 years of free work and got nothing.
Well, once we got funding, we all started getting paying ourselves a salary every month.
Okay.
Not a few thousand a month.
So what was the logic behind giving? Okay, so you made a little bit of money, cool, when you guys got funding. But what was the logic in giving back equity? It sounds like you really made a strong impact in helping them get from 0 to 100.
I wanted to for me, the relationship was more important than trying to negotiate for some amount that was just barely doable. I preferred just leaving on good terms and cutting it clean. They had, to be honest too, like I look back on this now, they'd spent 20 plus years to build the company.
Okay.
They'd been in this for 20 something years. I came in and like, I'm grateful that they were willing to even give me give me that portion of the company.
So they probably had some expectation like that you would stick around for much longer then.
Yeah, based on what I had set. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then you had to change of heart. You evaluated the situation and said, okay, this isn't. I'm not as effective anymore here.
Yeah, I think it was the best thing, and everyone's like highest was the highest thing I could do was to like leave on good terms, give back the equity. Wow. They're grateful for my time there. I'm so grateful for their mentorship and this opportunity. Didn't play out as any of us expected. Learned a lot. Yeah. And my time here is done.
Yeah. Okay. So you realized that. Did you have an idea before you exited of what you were going to do next? Did you have a plan or anything?
No, not really. Not really. I mean, I had this inkling I was going to do my own thing. Sorry. I did. It was after the next thing. I didn't know what I was going to do. Okay. I had two buddies that were starting a gym consulting company. Okay. Keegan, who was actually Jeff and Mickey's son, was part of this company. And they wanted me to jump on board with them. Got it. So that makes a lot more sense of why you value that relationship so much. Yeah, and Jeff and Mickey were totally chill with it, like supporting Keegan and his business. So jumped into gym consulting. Okay. Wow. And how long did you guys do that for? Yeah, that burned out fast. Oh, did it? Okay. We were successful in closing clients, but the partnership didn't work. One of the partners did not deliver on what he said he would deliver. And we just had completely differing values in the way that we wanted to serve customers. Interesting. Okay. And like, I see where you're going. Yeah. As soon as I realized that we are letting customers down and we weren't going to fix that, I'm out. Interesting. Yeah. Well, wow. Well, good for you for staying true to who you are. I think this is going to be a big theme into what you're doing now with Impact Accelerator, because it's such a hard thing when people are trying to build something and it's not easy. They got to make money. Their back's against the wall, and I know a huge part of your theme is to how can we do this successfully while staying true to who you are, right? I read that in the intro. So then. All right, what was it then? Impact Accelerator after this? Then it was like a little bit of soul searching, Tony Robbins event, like. Oh, did you go? Which one did you go to? Day with Destiny. Did you really? Yeah. Whoa, yeah, I've seen the movie about that. Yeah, it was pretty epic. I can imagine. Was it in Florida? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, West Palm Beach. Wow. Okay, was that like a massively impactful experience? It was pretty game changing. I was like so ripe for it. Like, please tell me about that. Yeah, I was in a place of like, so what happened after I left that other business was not clean. Not clean with how it was handled between us. And so I felt that I was in a place of like, damn, I really don't feel comfortable like utilizing like any of the network that I've built. Wow. Like that related to like the past two businesses. Yeah. And so I felt like, all right, like this is really blank slate for me right now. So I went to Tony Robbins like with that intention of like, what's next? Who am I? And looking at the patterns too. Two businesses joining a mission, joining someone else's mission. Yeah. Like, and what I came to realize in that event was like Matt, it's fucking time to start your own thing. Like, you have to you're not going to be satisfied until you're pursuing your own vision and no one else's. You won't be satisfied until your business is based on your own values and no one else's. Yeah. And you need to be at the center making all the calls, or else you're not going to be satisfied, or else you're going to do the same thing. And so that's what I came out with from Tony Robbins. Had the framework of a coaching course, and put it together. And I remember being home. I moved back to Jersey for a little bit. Yeah. And I just remember like it was that Christmas break where like my mom, I was like sharing some of my mom and sister, and they were just like, Matt, like you just need to launch this thing. Yeah. Like, stop working on it and launch it. And I was like, oh shit, you're right. Yeah. What was your idea though? Like what was this thing? It was at that point? I called it advisory group. Okay. And it was like, it was like so buzzwordy, like unleash your potential, make more money, like hit your fitness goals.
Yeah.
The thing is, I was confident that I could help anyone with any of those goals.
Okay, well that's like where everything starts.
So I knew that I could help anyone with any of those things.
Okay.
But I built out a pretty great program. Like it was basically it was the birth of Impact Accelerator 1.0.
Okay.
It was because it was about understanding who you are and what your vision is and what your biggest goals are and what your purpose is and who you're meant to serve and how you're meant to serve and how you can market yourself powerfully. Yeah. So at the heart of it was all the principles that were later put into Impact Accelerator. But I launched it calling it an advisory group. Yeah. Literally was like, hey, if you want me to advise you, here's a group for it. Got 3 clients on board. And it just proved to me that like this is the work. Wow. Like this is the right work.
Well, that first client's always the hardest one. I'm curious how that happened. So let me just get this straight first. You had been working on your blog prior. Did you ever take a break from that, or did you keep that going throughout the startup, fitness startup that you tried and before that?
Yeah, no, Brand X became really demanding, and so I put that to the side. That really just became my bridge to the next thing. So
I see. But did that help you a lot in at least getting a start with when you started advisory group?
Yeah, I mean, see, with the blog,
did you have a following?
I had gotten, I wouldn't call it a following, but I had a lot of people who looked at what I was doing. Yeah. And were like, he's doing some cool things.
Got it.
Like, I figured out how to get 500 people to share it in the first 24 hours. Huh. Like, some random kid doing some random blog. I got 500 shares.
That's impressive.
It was like I manufactured it to get viral. Wow. And so, that was just how I knew that if I could get people to share this in the beginning, then it would create a ripple of impact forever. Mm-hmm. And so I applied that principle to when I launched the coaching business as well. Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's awesome, man. Okay. So yeah, that's cool. That's bringing everything together. Now 1.0, Impact Accelerator 1.0, aka advisory group.
It is advisory group because then I launched Impact Accelerator later. So that was advisory group.
Okay. Yeah. Advisory group. Okay. What year was this? 2019? Or okay, so 2019.
End of 2019.
End of 2019. Oh wow, what timing, huh? Yeah. So right before COVID, what was that? And by the way, I've had a lot of entrepreneurs on here who started a business in 2020 out of necessity or maybe had nothing to do with COVID. It was right before it, and the story is always pretty wild. What was your pandemic story while building an early stage business?
Yeah. After 1 week, I had 1 week of like confusion and like fear of this is gonna hurt my business. Yeah. And then I just saw through what was happening. Like I saw through as soon as Instagram put on their thing like a stay at home sticker, I realized what was happening. Oh man. Oh, if people stay home, what happens? They spend more time on Instagram. Yeah. Oh, Instagram wants this to happen. Oh, all the tech companies want this to happen. I love it. I just realized that so like super early. And I was just like, this is not like, I'm just not letting this affect me. Luckily, like Katro, my roommate Katro, I remember us talking like, I think it was 2 weeks in the pandemic. We were just like, this is going to be our time. Yeah. Like this is go time. Wow. Let's we were like smiling watching the TV. We were just like, all right, it's time to build. Let's get down to business. Wow. And so I am very quickly, especially too, I did some consulting with my current partner, Chet, which we can talk about Chet later. Quickly realized this is actually an opportunity. When everyone is going to be in chaos and panic and constriction, I get to actually be a force of freedom, of expansion. I get to show that that independent of what's going on in the outer world, you still can live with freedom. Wow. Like, we figured out how to travel during the pandemic. Like our backyard became a hub for people who wanted to work out. Like I was just like, this is an opportunity to separate myself. I don't believe in any of this bullshit that's going on. And so I'm going to keep doing my thing. And when people are most in need of support,
yeah,
I'm gonna be the person I need to be that can provide that support. So I took it as an opportunity.
Okay, that's amazing. It was so hard to do at the time with the pressure and the division, right? And I mean, it's amazing you saw right through the bullshit. So, what did you accomplish then as far as reaching milestones in your business during the, let's call it 2020 through 2022?
Yeah, I mean, I was able to close 6 figures my first year in coaching.
Unbelievable.
Just because I just put my head down and was like, I'm going to build this thing. I'm going to make this thing successful.
And you were probably working with a lot of people who were like, what the hell do I do now? The world is shut down. Like people who are trying to build their own thing.
I actually attracted more people who were on the similar wavelength of like, let's go. Let's use this time to better myself and my life.
Nice.
And I like, I remember like as soon at the earliest point we could travel, I went to a Dr. Joe Dispenza seminar. Like went to Costa Rica, like just did not let it stop me. And like I met people on some of those travels that became clients. Really just put out to the world that like, this is the time, this is go time, this is build time, this is time to be expansive when the world's contracting. And that message and the way I was embodying it and living it, it was a message that was needed at that time and allowed me to build a business when it seemed like the odds were against me, but I didn't believe that.
Yeah. Well, amazing mindset, and clearly you won with the mindset. What was the first product that you offered in Impact, or I guess was Advisor Group, and when did you actually change the name? Let's get that.
The second launch.
Second launch?
Yeah.
Okay, which was when?
That was probably like 4 months after, probably like spring of 2020.
Okay. So you tried that, and then and then you quickly reiterated it. All right. So what was your original package or offer?
Yeah,
because
it's very similar. Like it's very similar
to what it is now,
without the language like that it is now. But it was understand your greatest strengths, build out your ultimate coaching program, launch it, and land clients. Like that was what it was back then, and now we've really just refined it into just a way more bulletproof, principle-based, practice-proven, step-by-step method. Yeah. But the heart of it, like I've gone back and looked at it, and I was like, oh, this is good stuff. Yeah,
like the early on material. Wow. So you really just came up with this idea as after Date with Destiny of how can you combine all of your best strengths. You had your background in business and management consulting. You had your health and fitness blog, right? And that was something you've always been passionate about. And you had some experience with some early stage startups. So I can see how that all comes together to say, hey, how can I coach people who are trying to build something of their own, and also include this element of living a very balanced life where I can be happy and not just completely drowning in my business that I'm trying to build, right? So am I understanding that correctly with what was going through your head and your vision for...
Literally nailed it. That was the question, was how can I bring together all of my experience, my natural skill set, my natural strengths, and put that together in a way that I can direct that towards my vision and the lifestyle I want to live every day in a way that helps people. So that was my question. And so that was my guiding question every day. And so I had coaches support me with that. I read books. And what I realized was that as I was seeking and understanding my own superpower and crafting my own program and learning how to market myself, that is what I actually can help everybody else with. Wow. Since I've spent so much time and energy on building out this roadmap for myself, that's actually what I can help people with. And so then I just turned around and was like, oh, I get to stop searching. This is what I get to serve people with.
That's so cool. Wow. And okay, so with all these different elements of the business, you've organized how you have your different offerings, right? You have your free trainings, you have your paid workshop, you have the book, the guide to help find a superpower, right? What is the order of operations, order of events that someone can expect when they're first working with you?
Yeah, came into this industry and like saw the whole like funnel craze, like low ticket offering, lead magnets and all this stuff, and like tried some of that. But then I quickly realized that like, then I went back to my like the heart of heart questions, like how do I create the most impact? How do I create the most impact now and over time?
Yeah.
And my hypothesis was like, build out the ultimate program, get people to go through your ultimate program, and aim all arrows towards your ultimate program. The program is built from your heart. The program that's like your soul's purpose. The program that leverages your natural skill sets and allows you to live in the life you want and be in flow.
Yeah.
And so I launched that and it worked. Then I launched it again and it worked. And I realized that like I don't need to, like it's not about someone who's getting going. I think it's so much less effective to build out like all these crazy offerings, like to try to build this like funnily trap sort of weird thing. Build out your ultimate thing, tell people about your ultimate thing, get people on your ultimate thing. And as you start to gain an understanding of the language around what it is that you do and who you serve and how you sell, then you can start to build out other offerings or experimental offerings that can lead into this ultimate thing. But that's it. It's super simple. Like I will do like mainly the offerings are like Impact Accelerator is the main core offering. I'll do custom coaching and consulting for others that may not be a fit or may not have the time for Impact Accelerator. I'll do custom one-on-one work. And then I'll do immersions as well. Like for someone who wants to do Impact Accelerator in a short amount of time, like I'll spend 5 days with them in San Diego or in a cool destination and go through the entire thing one-on-one. Now the price point's exponential from the accelerator.
I'm sure,
but it's super fun. Like,
it sounds sick.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have clients come here and we'll, spend part of the day in the ice baths, part of the day in the sauna, do breath work at the beach, like really get in this like flow state and create from a flow state and exponentiate time. Really build their business, like their entire business in 5 days.
Wow. That is incredible. So you just have literally an accelerated program of Impact Accelerator, customized to one person, focused on one person. What is a normal Impact Accelerator? How is it about 6 weeks?
4 months.
4 months. Okay. And how many people typically are in the program? What's the commitment like from them, time commitment?
Yeah, the current program got 18 people in there.
Okay.
And we built this program based on what didn't work for us in the industry and what we knew did work. So what didn't work for us was like just, hey, here's a video course. And so we wanted to build out a program where we could stand behind and say, hey, we're gonna support you through this entire process, even if you're a busy person, even if you have a corporate job. If you can carve out 3 hours on Tuesday and an hour every Monday and Friday and join these calls, then we're going to take you through this step-by-step process to help you truly build out your foundational mission, your messaging, create that ultimate offer, the model, and then launch your marketing. And we'll do this in a 4-month period that by the end of the program, it's our intention that you have understood your superpower, created your ultimate offer, launched it, and are already landing high-level clients by the end of our work together. So that you can go from where you were to having a business that you absolutely love and working with people who love you back.
I love how you said that, by the time we're done working together, because one of the hardest things is to try to decide to make a big investment into some sort of training or deep dive program, right? And then coming out of it saying, all right, now how do I implement this? All right. But you actually are trying to enable them to get things going before the program's done. So, okay, here's your proof. Here's your validation that this is going to work for you. Here's a momentum, right? That's awesome. So I just thought of this. I'm really curious about like the specific types of people. Could you give us examples? I know I alluded to it in the intro, but what types of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs do you have in Impact Accelerator? And what are some of the most common themes of problems that these people are experiencing as they come to you for guidance?
Totally. We tend to get people who are really freaking good at what they do. Whether they've been in the fitness industry for 15 years, whether they're an expert healer, Reiki healer, mindset coach, an abundance coach, people who are great at what they do. Or even we'll get people who, are in corporate high-level executives and are doing meditation coaching on the side.
Wow, okay.
People are great at what they do, but not seeing a way to pull it all together into a business that provides them with what they're worth in a way that's detached from time for money, and in a way that they enjoy serving and feel fully fulfilled, knowing that they're living their fullest potential, giving everything they've got into their business. So we tend to find those people often who are, stuck doing session for session, or have been stuck in the same business model for 10 years, or new coaches who just don't want to settle for the classic standard model that's out there. New coaches who want to do what I did and bring it all together with their ultimate offer and create big impact fast.
I see. Okay, very cool. And what is your strategy to help these solopreneurs integrate the business they're trying to build that's going to be profitable and being themselves, expressing their true self, who they really are, who they really want to be, and live at their values, which seems, I mentioned just a little while ago, is a big theme of yours.
Totally. That is literally what we have dedicated our lives to. When I say we, my business partner, Chet Morjaria.
Okay.
And Chet was actually my first client, and then I hired him to be my coach as well.
Oh, wow.
He's a leader, and he was a coaching educator in the fitness space in the UK, managing editor of a global magazine with like 25 million readers. And so we joined forces. And so we both pretty much have dedicated our lives to building businesses that are meaningful, authentic, and impactful.
Yeah.
And that is what Impact Accelerator is, the roadmap. We take people through exercises that allow them to let go of all the pieces. Us now, we're walking, we're basically, I heard it described this one day, we're electric meat sacks with souls in it. And within that, within that, we get, through each interaction, we are influenced, and sometimes we take on influences that are not our own, whether that's through trauma or through just interaction. We take on other people's patterns and programming. So what we do at Impact Accelerator before starting the business part is we want to carve away all this external programming, carve away these traumas, and get underneath to the truest essence of who you are, and create from that truest essence. Really get clear on your impact that you're supposed to have in this world. Get clear on the type of people you're meant to serve, not the people you want to serve, the people who you can serve most powerfully. Yeah. And we've come up with a process to being able to do that.
Okay. Wow. What is involved in that process? Is it like a lot of journaling? What kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's deep. Lots of deep questions that go 5 layers deep. Analysis of past successes to bring together the universal elements of what makes you amazing. Yeah. And deep coaching.
That's so
deep coaching. Yeah. Where I will be able to hold someone to their highest potential and cut through, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, energetic, business roadblock that's within you, that's holding you back from being your living your highest potential and your soul's essence. Yeah. We're going to cut through that and get you to step up into something higher.
Wow. Man, I love it. What a great overview of everything you're doing and how you got to where you are today. What are you most proud of so far since you founded Impact Accelerator?
Yeah. Who I've become in the process, and who I've become is more me.
Great answer. Wow. Okay.
And so it's none of the business accomplishments. It's who I've had to become. Yeah. In order to hold what's required in the business. In order to right now be working with 18 clients, but also, having 10 calls a week with people who might be interested. Yeah. And living with balance and having friends and dating and doing all that. Like, I've had to expand my nervous system capacity. Yeah. I've had to learn how to become present. I've had to improve my skill in conscious awareness. I literally have just had to master my own system, carve away what was limiting me from past traumatic experience and survival patterns to step into what I'm going to say is more me. Yeah. A greater, more grounded, more connected me. So that's what I'm most proud of. And how that, and the coolest part is just the more I've done that, the more I've invested in these modalities and experiences and coaches. Like I usually have 6 or 7 coaches on payroll at a time.
Okay. Wow. So you've built the team out to have help with, and
pretty much every facet of life.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that was gonna be something I was wondering, because I don't know how the hell you scale just yourself with all the stuff you're doing and all the people you're taking on. Wow. That's awesome, man. So I'm curious, what is Chet's role? Because when we go to your website, I see you, right? I see you. It's about Matt Hersh, but how do you incorporate the help you have with your employees or your partners?
Yeah. So my website's Matt Hersh, but Impact Accelerator, we've actually joined our businesses together for Impact Accelerator. So we're 50-50 partners in Impact Accelerator.
Okay.
And yeah, we just have a phenomenal partnership. Like, it's funny, a lot of the development work I've been doing, like even in like the romantic space, has translated in business.
Interesting.
Into our like business partnership. So me and Chet have just found this like soulmate business partnership.
Yeah.
Where I'm a visionary thinker, but I'm also really, really good in real time with real time coaching. Chet's great in between that. He's great at creating systems and rhythms in order to bring together the present moment and the future into like systemized pieces. Yeah. I really enjoy sales. Yeah. Chet really enjoys fulfillment. So we compound each other's skill sets.
Got it.
In order to make 1 + 1 = 11, not 2.
Right. So cool, man. Well, it's amazing stuff, Matt. Thanks for sharing that. I do want to end off with a couple quick questions. One is a fun one I ask everybody on the show, which is, what is an entrepreneurial life hack that is against the norm, against the mainstream belief, that you've come up with, unique to you, that you could share with the audience?
Your business can only expand to the degree your nervous system can hold. So if you're hitting blockages in your business, maybe, just maybe, stop looking at your business and look at what internal blockers, what past traumas, what mindset loops, what spiritual limiters are holding you back from being the person who you need to be in order to move beyond that bottleneck.
Wow. I love it. That's deep. Basically a reminder that you have all the power. And you're most of the time your greatest enemy is yourself. Your greatest blocker is. And if you can clear that up, then the sky's the limit. Mm-hmm. Great answer.
I think it's going to be parts of us too. Like there's always competing parts of us. So it's going to be about identifying which part of us is trying to play small, which part of us is fearful. Yeah. And choosing the higher part versus allowing the lower part to keep us contracted.
Wow. Let that one sink in, guys. That's a great piece of advice. I'm gonna have to listen back to that one a few times. That's awesome. Man, well, great stuff, Matt. Is there somebody you have in mind that you think I should have on the show, someone in your network who has a similar profile, entrepreneurial mindset, or building something of some sort?
Yeah, you like local people, right?
I like anyone, man, but
anyone, anywhere? Yeah.
Local makes it easy because I do these all in person.
Okay. I think a great one is actually the man in the other room.
Okay.
Is my roommate, Kecho, who is building a microdose company and transforming a nudist colony into a new age festival space.
Wow.
So we've both been living here for over 6 years. Yeah. And built our businesses together but separately. And so it's been really cool to see us both grow in our own unique ways, but building our separate entities. So I think he's an epic person to interview.
I love it, man. Well, I'll follow up with you on getting in touch, or I'll probably talk to him here shortly. Cool, man. Well, how can people find you on social media, on the internet, to potentially become a client, just to see what you're up to?
Yeah, Instagram is my spot. Matt James Hersh.
Matt James Hersh.
Hersh.
Perfect. Okay. And then your website?
Yeah, impactaccelerator.online.
Perfect. Awesome, man. Well, Matt, thank you so much, dude, for having me.
Thanks, Chris.
Awesome
Appreciate this. Yeah, great. Hey, we christened the podcast room.
Yeah, we did. It's looking good, man. And shout out to Xander for putting this together, right?
Shout out Xander.
Who's also on the show.
Yep.
Cool, man. All right, well, thanks again, Matt.
Fuck yeah.
Yep. I'm stoked to see what you continue to build and how we all continue to grow.
Likewise.
Cool, man.
Hell yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Thank you for joining our conversation today on the Nichols and Dimes Show. Please check out and follow my podcast Instagram at Nichols and Dimes Show. I'd love to have you subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or YouTube. You can also find it on my website. I welcome and encourage any feedback you can share in the reviews so I can continue to improve and develop the show. Thanks again and see you next time.